Why are we arguing about whether we need to control our borders? Let me see. If you want to have a law that regulates immigration, then you must be able to control who's coming across the border. If you don't control who comes across the border, then your laws and regulations don't mean anything. Am I the only person in America who understands this simple truth?
My wife chides me every now and again because my answers are often long. But on the question of immigration, I have a fairly short answer that I think would go a long way toward helping to alleviate our difficulties in this way. And it's 3 words: enforce the law. What about that? I do not understand. Now let's start from the beginning, because when Vicente Fox was here and he's trying to chide us because somehow or another we need to change our bad attitude on immigration, and I'm thinking to myself, excuse me? Now Mexico, you all, is a country where they don't give 2 cents for people who cross their border illegally. They lay their hands on you, and in a very unceremonious way, out you go. No administrative procedures. They are really very peremptory when it comes to this question. Even after you've been accepted as a legal immigrant, there are going to be a lot more restrictions on you in Mexico than in this country. And he's coming to lecture us? I have to beg to differ with him. I think we have thought through a policy that, in fact, has a certain element in it of deep compassion, deep understanding of the humanity involved. Why? Because we are a nation of nations. Because we are a people of many peoples. You look around America and you will find us. We are Africans and we are Asians and we are South Asians. We are Pakistanis. We are Arabs. We are Jews. We are a people in touch with all humanity. And that means when we touch people overseas, we're touching somebody here, and you and I both know it. That's why our immigration law has been constructed in such a way as to take account of family relationships, has been constructed in such a way as to try to make sure that basic families can be kept intact, but also that the door is kept open to talents and abilities. It has not been carelessly put together, and precisely because of the makeup of our people, it has not been put together without regard for the human feelings and ties that are involved. But it has one overriding purpose, which I think is important for all those people. There's no point offering people the promise of a better life and then mismanaging immigration to such a degree that you destroy the basis for that promise. You just open the floodgates, let everybody come in, and like some of the cities in the developing world, when people come into the countryside, and I've seen them, I've seen what has happened in Mexico City and in Bombay and in other places when you allow an influx that is not managed properly to overload an infrastructure. People don't find hope and they don't find opportunity, they find misery, and that is not what America should offer. That means we have a responsibility to manage immigration in such a way that we can at one and the same time respect the tradition that has made this country strong, of drawing on the hope and answering the aspirations of people all over the world, but at the same time we maintain our quality of life, do not overburden our infrastructure, and incorporate people into our expanding hope as constructive elements who will be here fulfilling their dreams, not stewing because we have been so careless of them that they can no longer reach for them. And that's why I think it's very important. We have an immigration policy that is fair, and we then enforce that immigration policy upon all concerned in a manner that reflects our serious responsibility for the hopes and aspirations of everybody who comes here. And that's not in any way anti-immigration. As a matter of fact, I think that's the only way to maintain an immigration policy that is going to be both fair and useful and fruitful for all the people who want to come to America. It's not a question of do we have the means and do we have the capability. The question is, do we have the political will? And I think the problem arises there in 2 ways. We have some people who are economically benefiting from illegal immigration. Let's not close our eyes to this. We have folks who are perfectly minded to have illegal immigrants come in. They are a vulnerable portion of the workforce. They can be exploited for their labor and then tossed into the welfare system. And the whole result reaps profits for somebody at the expense of both the poor illegal immigrant and the public good. And then, on the other hand, we have some folks in our country, and I'm not going to suggest that they're all in the Democrat Party, but we have some folks in our country who look at this as a political opportunity. That you can have people come in and then you start relaxing access to the ballot in various clever ways so that people can register without a scrutiny of who they are, where they come from, where they were born, and whether in fact they are a part of a citizen body. And before you know it, you can be influencing elections right, left, and center by corrupting the integrity of the electorate in this very direct way. So we have some forces in this country who don't want to solve the problem of illegal immigration. And we need to identify them and openly challenge them so that we can build a solid majority in favor of meeting our responsibility to our people and the world.